Missing video archives this week? The good news is you don't have to. You can hear the rest of this conversation and Video Archives After Show by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/video archives to subscribe today.
We saw this trailer, we go, okay, we've got to see this for Video Archives. This has got Video Archives written all over it. And it does. And it is apartheid exploitation at its finest. South African trash, apartheid exploitation for money-grubbing Hollywood scumbags who don't care about where they get their money. And the movie is called Funeral for an Assassin. And it stars Vic Morrow, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to watch it. One, I like this genre of movie anyway. I like the subgenre. I like that 70s look about it all.
The 1974 film.
And if you watch a bunch of these, you get to really become familiar with a lot of the South African actors. So they start popping up in movie after movie, like the Filipino actors in the Filipino films. You start really appreciating it. But I really wanted to see this because I think Vic Morrow should have starred in far more movies in the 70s rather than guesting on McCloud and Streets of San Francisco. I think he was a real leading man, and he was a fantastic actor, and I think he was a very strong lead. And he's just sensational in this movie. I couldn't love him more. But anyway, it is a movie about the great assassin, terrific assassin, running amok. And I shall now read the back of the box. Funeral for an Assassin, starring Vic Morrow. Michael Cardiff, played by Vic Morrow, is a tough professional assassin out of prison with an obsession to get revenge. Everton Roos, played by Peter Van Dessel, is the determined investigator barring all rules in his search to bring Cardiff to justice. Sammy Williams plays Cardiff's native friend Umzinga, and finally his victim, killed because he knows Cardiff has disguised himself as a black man. Cardiff and Roos, one for evil, one for justice, fight it out alone as the film comes to an exciting and explosive climax. And then there's a big tagline-y thing that's also on the front. Third World Hitman Gone Berserk!
I love that. Best tagline ever.
Exclamation point.
Third World Hitman.
Gone Berserk.
Gone Berserk.
Well, that more or less describes what's going on. What's going on more, particularly plot-wise, is Vic Morrow is one of the great assassins of all time. He's one of the world's great assassins. So he's right up there with Bishop, Bronson's character in The Mechanic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's like one of the world greats. Yeah. So him and Bishop. If you can't get Bishop, get Cardiff. So he goes to South Africa to do a hit, and it turns out to be a shit show. And it almost seems like it was set up to be a fiasco. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his whole revenge thing is about the people who set him up. That's who he's on a mad quest to kill. All right, is the people who set him up for this shit show. So then he literally is like on a berserk rampage, but like he's a professional killer on a berserk rampage. So it's like it's berserk and it's a rampage, but it's actually very methodical. And
a little Hennessy-like.
Well, it didn't hit me until midway through the movie. And then when it hit me, then I'm like, oh my God, this is Hennessy. All right. It's a South African Hennessy. And so now there's this cop who I actually didn't care for the actor playing the cop, even though he's okay in the role. But I like the procedural stuff. I just wish I liked him more. All right. But I actually like the cop procedural stuff in it. And so he's the one that kind of figures out that Cardiff's in town, and he knows he's got a short window that he can get Cardiff. And he knows if he misses this, no one's ever been able to come this close to knowing that Cardiff's in the country. And he's like hanging around because he's trying to do shit.
He's like the head of the South African Special Police or something, the Secret Service or Protection Unit or something like that.
So he knows that once Cardiff is done, has pulled the trigger for the last time, he's going to disappear and you'll never catch him again. And he's got one guy, his buddy, played by Sammy Williams, his black friend, that was
his Zulu friend,
black Zulu friend who was part of his former life, who truly is helping him like an assassin's assistant, I mean, like Jan Michael Vincent, basically,
He was his Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah, he was his Jan Michael Vincent. Look, as much as I really do like Of Unknown Origin, once we started watching Funeral for Assassin, I was like, okay, now this is more like it. This is more like it.
We're in Quentin territory now.
Yeah. No, even like the grain of the film just felt good on my eyeballs. It was obviously taken from a print, and a cool print, but not a pristine print, but I liked that about it. And it felt like a 70s grindhousey kind of like third feature.
Remember, you can hear the rest of this episode ad-free by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. You'll also get access to the Video Archives After Show, where we play never-before-heard clips, answer your fan questions, and even play vaulted episodes. Visit patreon.com/videoarchives today for all of the details. We'll be back with a brand new episode next week.